Good afternoon. Today is the 15th of August and I'll be sitting in this incredibly old Volvo with terrible lighting telling you about the top 10 best-selling cars in this country of July 2023. I'm very pleased to report that July 2023 has sort of marked rather a resurgence for new car registrations in this country. If I say registrations or sales, I kind of do mean the same thing actually. I will use the terms interchangeably, even though they're technically registrations. So if you've been into a dealership, say in, I don't know, 2022 and ordered a new car that's arrived this month, then obviously if it's registered now and that's the figures that count. But I call them sales most of the time. So I actually had quite a good month of July. It's not even kind of anywhere near what it has been for quite a long time. You have to go back to 2011 to see a July that was worse than July 2023. Even July 2020 was very strong. It's not generally the kind of the biggest month anyway for the sales of new cars because a lot of people are away. And August I think is even worse. September's a really big month, but we're not there yet. So we'll look, as we always do, at the percentage change increase for the market in general compared with 2022. And it's 28% up, which is very, very good. It's still not quite what people, I think, expected. But if we look at the change in the sales mix between the private, fleet and business sectors, we'll see that it's virtually no change whatsoever. In fact, last year, the private sector was about 60,000 cars. In July, last month, about 60,000 cars. In fact, there's only a 0.3% change in a positive direction. What that means, though, but because so many more cars have been sold this year rather opposed to last year in July, the market share has significantly gone down from 53% to 42%. In fact, if we look at the fleet sector, it's gone from 50,000 cars last July to 80,000 or 81,000 almost last month, which is a change of 62% increase, which is what I imagine a lot of people in the automotive world would like to see with new cars, generally a 62% increase, but it's just for the fleet sector. And that means actually the market share for the fleet sector has increased to 56% from 45% last year. So, quite a lot more cars are being sold in the fleet sector than the private sector at the moment. The business sector is tiny. It only makes up 2% of the market. There's been no percentage change in the market share, but because the overall market's up by 28% and actually percentage change is 29%, it's a very, very small kind of increase in the number of sales from like 2,300 to 2,900. If we look at the breakdown of power source, these days we have to call it that. We can't just call it fuel because batteries I don't think are particularly fuel. Electricity is, I don't know what's kind of the power. We see the reason why we don't talk about diesel on this channel, other than the ultra emission zone and Mayor of London and some other things, is because it's a tiny proportion of the market. Last month, it made up only 4%. 4% of the entire market. When I first started doing these videos, I think it was close on, I don't know, 40, 50%, something like that. Extraordinary. It's like a 20th of what it used to be. The majority of people who buy cars in this country, it's just not a sort of relevant thing for them anymore. Obviously, they have their uses. There are certain vehicles that it's best to have one of those engines in, but they're just not really relevant to the majority of new car buyers anymore. Whether that's down to buyer preference or manufacturers or government regulation, I don't know. I leave that sort of thing up to you to decide. But we've only got the figures here, and the figures say that. The market share in July 2022 was 5.5%. Number of cars sold has gone from 6,200 to 5,700. And actually, a percentage change is about -8%. Petrol cars, percentage change has actually gone up by 13.4, but because of 28% increase in the overall market, the market share has gone from 46% to 40%. So, by number of cars sold has gone from 51,000 to 58,000. It still means that the percentage of cars purely powered by petrol as opposed to anything else has dropped. With mild hybrid forbidden fuel engines, it's actually dropped quite significantly, 23% down. Market share goes from 6.3% to 3.8%. Number of cars sold has gone from 7,000 to 5,500. So probably not too much longer for those to be any kind of major part of the market. Mild hybrid petrol, though, that's quite different. Very different. In fact, the market share was last July 13%. It's now 16%. Number of cars sold has gone from 15,000 to 24,000, which is a 57% increase. Battery electric vehicles, that's even more. It's a massive, massive increase. I know electric cars are starting to lose their value on the second-hand market, but there are still tons of them being registered by dealerships right now. In fact, it means if you are going to buy a second-hand one, there will be tons of them, and the deals on them are extremely good. Now is definitely the time to buy them before supply gets more restricted. But percentage change is actually 88% up. It's gone from, let's just get this correct, 12,000 cars July 2022 to 23,000 cars last month. The market share was 11%. It's now 16%. The market share of pure electric cars is now 4 times what forbidden fuel cars are. There we are. What else can I say? The plug-in hybrids, that's increased as well quite significantly. I don't know particularly why, but obviously there are more of those on the market as well. So we've gone from 5.8% of the market last July to 8% of the market last month. Percentage change is 79% increase in number of cars sold. That's gone from 6,500 to 12,000. Enormous increase. Hybrid electric vehicles, that's all sorts of things. Suzuki sells some of those. Toyota do. There's loads. And that's gone from 12% of the market to 11%. I think possibly that might be a segment that grows again soon, but it's currently one that's not keeping up with market demand. Percentage change only 19%. It should be above 28% to have an effect. So the market share has gone from 12% to 11%. Number of cars sold has increased slightly from 14,000 to 16,000. Let's look at last month's bestsellers. At the top is the Ford Puma, but currently outselling the Corsa to probably be the best-selling car of 2023 in this country. I have been offered one of those to review, the 2023 model Puma, and so maybe at some point, if you'd like to see that, I can ask if I can film that. Second is the Kia Sportage. Again, no stranger to the top 10. The Puma sold 4,100 cars. The Sportage just over 3,000. Next is the Qashqai. Again, no stranger to the top 10. Currently third year to date, also third last month, just over 3,000. But the difference between second and fourth place on this chart is only 58 cars. Just below the Qashqai's of the Mocha, which is in 3,002, so just over 3,000. Again, like the Corsa, they're very popular at the moment. Then behind a Tucson, which is in fifth position at 2,600. Also in fifth position on the year-to-date chart. The Corsa is second on the year-to-date chart, but only comes sixth last month for 2,500. The Cougar, not on the year-to-date chart at all, actually, for 10, obviously somewhere else down here. But last month, seventh with the 2,500. There's only 13 cars which actually separate the Corsa and the Cougar. Then the Audi A3, again, a car I don't see on this top 10 year-to-date chart. But still very popular. Beat the Golf comprehensively. Golf was nowhere to be seen for some reason. 2,500. Then the Toyota Aygo X, which I actually drove on the channel last year. It's a good car, I suppose, but I don't know why it's in number 9. Never mind. 2,400. And then the Tesla Model Y, which actually is fourth this year entirely. and that is 2,300. Let's now go to my favourite part of the video and look at how the individual brands are doing over the period of the last month, so July 2023. Abarth, Stellantis brand, we always start with them. They've had a very, very good month, comparatively speaking, because in July 2022, they only sold 8 cars. Last month, they sold 75. I think that's due to the new electrified Abarth and other Abarths will be coming soon. 838% increase, but that was only 75 cars. The market share, though, has gone from 0.01 to 0.05. Alfa Romeo, not so good, a fellow Stellantis brand, down by 5.4%. Market share has gone from 0.16 to 0.12. Number of cars sold has gone from 175 to 166 appropriately. Although there was never an Alfa Romeo 175, there was a 166. Alpine, there's not really much to say. It remains the same as last year. Number of cars sold is within a couple, and it's in the sort of high 20s. It's virtually nothing. Audi, big sales, actually almost beat Ford. So 11,000 cars sold as opposed to 9,000 in July 2022. That means the market share has actually gone down very slightly. It's gone from 8% to 7.7 because of the overall trend of the market being up by 28%. It's only up by 24%. Bentley, not really much to say. They only sold 92 cars last month. Sold 121 in July 2022, which means the market share has gone from 1.11 to 0.6. And yeah, that's a 24% decrease. BMW not doing as well as Audi, not by any means at all for some reason. It's 10.4% increase. Number of cars sold has actually gone up slightly from 7,900 to 8,700, but the market share still dropped from 7% to 6%. BYD, we can't compare that against anything because we weren't actually selling cars, I don't think, in this country last year. Citroën, more Stellantis brands. Very good performance, actually. 58% increase. Number of cars sold has gone from 1,000 to 1,600. And the market share has gone from 0.9 to 1.1. Cupra, an increase, but a small one below the general trend of the market. 6%. Number of cars sold has gone from 1,800 to 1,950, about that. And market share has gone down slightly from 1.6 to 1.3%. Dacia, I don't know why this is. It's actually supply issues or something with Dacia because they're very popular at the moment. The video on the jogger that I did, I think it was last month with Mr. Bill from Fuel Power. That's been very popular actually. The 2023 jogger e-hybrid. So I don't know why they're 54% down on July 2022. The number of cars sold has gone from 3,400 to 1,600. And the market share has dropped from 3% to 1%. Who knows? DS, another Stellantis brand, decrease of 47%. Market share has gone from 0.25 to 0.1. Number of cars sold has gone from 275 to 145. Fiat, another Stellantis brand, down by 44%. Market share has gone from 1.2 to 0.5. Number of cars sold has gone from 1,400 to 776. They're in desperate need, really, Fiat, of some new models. I know they're coming soon, but yeah, it can't come too soon, I think. Genesis. So Genesis, a 36% decrease, which is very surprising to them because they've only been in this country for, I think, 18 months or something. They were at 0.06% of the market, now 0.03. Number of cars sold has gone from 62 to 40. It's a 36% decrease. And then we've got Aura, not relevant yet because we're going to compare it against Honda. It's not been too bad. I drove a current generation Jazz actually early this month. The video will go up at some point. I've got so many videos that are ready to go at the moment, but it might be a while. But yes, that video will be up at some point. And actually, that's quite a good car, that current generation Jazz. 15% increase. Market share has gone from 1.5 to 1.3. General market trends, but the number of cars sold has gone from 1,700 to 1,900. Hyundai, number of cars sold is virtually the same at about 6,500, but because of the general trend of the market being 28% up, they've gone from about 6% to about 4.5%. Ineos, nothing to compare it against, still keep going. Jaguar, I know a brand that's supposedly in trouble actually quite a lot. I'm not sure what will happen with that, to be honest, at the moment. So 60% decrease. Number of cars sold gone from 1,250 to about 1,050, and the market share has gone from 1.1 to 0.7. Jeep, 6.2% increase. I suppose for Stellantis, who often struggle in this country for some reason, a lot of their brands. That's not too bad. Not talking many cars sold though, really, not at all. There are more cars sold than SsangYong, but SsangYong's a much more obscure brand than Jeep. So it's gone from 0.17 to 0.14% of the market. And the number of cars sold has gone from 193 to 205. But yes, Kia, they have done very well. They've sold more cars than BMW, which they sort of should, really, because BMW is supposedly known as a sort of premium brand, whereas I don't think Kia necessarily is. That's why the Stinger wasn't very popular over here. It wasn't sort of sold, considered as one of those. So yeah, Kia, 37% increase. Market share has gone from 6.3 to 6.7. Number of cars sold has gone from 7,000 to 9,700. So very good. Land Rover, better than Jaguar. Still not the best, but so many more cars sold than them. 8% decrease. Market share has gone from 4.3 to 3.1. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,800 to 4,500. Lexus, a very good bump for Lexus, not as good as Abarth, but very high percentage increase, 156%. Market share has gone from 0.42 to 0.85. Number of cars sold has gone from 500 to 1,200. Maserati, tiny sort of increase in numbers, still 24%, but so market share is probably say the same, but that's only 55 cars to 68. Mazda, very good figures for Mazda for some reason, 81% increase, gone from 1% of the market to 1.5. Number of cars sold 1,200 to 2,100. Don't quite know why that is particularly. Maybe it's the CX-60. I don't know. That's the newest model they have. Mazdas are very nice cars actually these days. They're very, very nice indeed. Mercedes-Benz. Obviously, I am a Mercedes-Benz owner because my mother has given up driving now, and so I've got hers. So 4% decrease. 6% of the market down to 4.2. Number of cars sold has gone from 6,200 to 6,000. The agency model for Mercedes-Benz doesn't seem to be working particularly well. I don't know why that is, but there we go. MG, of course, massive sales. The MG4 selling really well, in particular the new X-Power versions out of that. 97% increase. Market share has gone from 2.8 to 4.2. They are 17 cars behind Nissan. Who would have thought that a few years ago? MG has almost outsold Nissan. And they've almost outsold Skoda as well. And loads of other brands that you would have heard of. Seat, Peugeot, Volvo. Yeah, loads of different brands they've outsold. So yeah, 4.2% of the market. Just over 6,000 cars sold. Mini, half of what MG have sold. Whoops, that's embarrassing, isn't it? 3% of an increase. Market share has gone from 2.8 to 2.3. Number of cars sold has gone from 3,200 to about 3,250. Yeah, Mini should really be doing a bit better than that, I think. But They're not, so never mind. Nissan, as I said, very similar to MG. Their increase is 31%. Market share has gone from 4.2 to 4.23, very small. The number of cars sold has gone from 4,700 to 6,100. Peugeot, Stellantis brand, and some good news. 42% increase. Market share has gone from 2.2% to 2.5%. Number of cars sold has gone from 2,500 to 3,600 almost. Polestar, a very big increase for them as well. They have had a 574% increase. They've gone from 0.2% of the market to 0.9% of the market. So they sold 1,300 cars in July 2023, up from 200 in July 2022. So well done to them. Although Porsche have actually beat them quite comprehensively, 27% increase. So pretty much exactly in line with the general market. They've gone from sort of 1.33 to 1.32% of the market. The number of cars sold has gone from 1,500 to 1,900. Renault, not a bad month actually, although many of us sold them. So 30% increase. Market share has gone from sort of about 1.9 to 1.9, so another great increase. But number of cars sold has gone from 2,100 to 2,700. Seat, 44% increase. 1.6% market share to 1.8% of the market. Although, you know, Cupra seem to be doing very well as well. Cupra and Seat. So 1,800 cars sold in July 2022. Last month, 2,700. Skoda, much better sales than Seat in this country for reasons I don't ever quite understand, but there we go. So 56% increase, and then percentage has gone from 3.7 to 4.5. Number of cars sold has gone from 4,200 to 6,500. Smart, not really kind of fully back yet, so we'll go on to SsangYong. A very small increase of 6 cars. Yeah, 96 cars sold last month. Was 0.8% of the market, 0.08, now 0.07. Yeah, Subaru have overtaken SsangYong by 3. They've had a 62% increase from 75 to 99. Yeah. I wonder how like Subaru and SsangYong sometimes justify even selling cars over here. I speak as a SsangYong owner in that as well. So, wow, this is crazy. We've got some crazy figures coming up here. Suzuki, 62% increase, 1.2% of the market to 1.5. Number of cars sold, 1,400 to 2,200, which is very good. Tesla, totally bucking the figures because of the way that they actually control the UK distribution so tightly themselves. The ships obviously literally sailed in because they've gone from 3 cars registered in July 2022 to 3,100 cars sold last month. That's registered last month, I should say. That's a 104,600% increase. A 104,600% increase. I don't think we're ever going to see a figure like that ever again, but you never know. It's crazy where we live in. Toyota, a very popular brand in this country, and they have gone down very slightly last month. I don't know why. 7.9% of the market it was in July 2022. Last month, 6% of the market. And number of cars sold has gone from 8,800 to 8,500 actually. Vauxhall had a good month. Another Stellantis brand, the favourite Stellantis brand of motorists in this country. 28% increase, almost exactly on par with the overall market, of which they have 9%. The number of cars sold has gone from... Oh, sorry, no, I do apologise. Vauxhall, 89% increase. The market share was at 3.5. It's now at 5.2. Number of cars sold has gone from 3,900 to 7,500. Volkswagen, favourite brand in this country, 9% market share. It's gone up by 28.3%. The number of cars sold has gone from 10,000 to 13,000. Although I don't see any Volkswagens in the top 10, they certainly are making headway, aren't they? They are everywhere. They're everywhere. Far outselling Ford, for example, but that's not a surprise anymore to me. Volvo, 67.5% increase, 2.1% of the market, up to 2.8% of the market now. Number of cars sold from 2,400 to 4,000. So, they're doing quite well as well. So overall, number of cars sold last month was 144,000, 28.3% increase. So thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. You can see the lighting's actually improved now. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more not really penetrative market analysis.